AITA for paying for another bride's wedding dress, but not my daughter's. My husband and I worked hard and managed to become financially secure adults after both of us grew up in poverty. We raised our children to work hard. We did not spoil them or provide them with a lavish life. As teens they all had part-time jobs, but we did purchase them their own used cars which they were required to maintain. We also paid for college and we paid for our oldest two kids' weddings. However, we were merely the ones paying and we did not provide any input or suggestions unless asked. The only thing we didn't pay for their weddings was our son's tuxedo and our oldest daughter's wedding dress. Our youngest daughter, Michaela, is engaged and we are paying for her wedding with the exception of her dress. She must buy her own wedding dress. Michaela invited her daddy and me to watch her try on dresses with the bridal party. She found a beautiful dress in her budget and we were so honored to have been allowed to take part in her finding the dress and seeing herself as a bride. While there I complimented another bride on a dress she was wearing and her mother and I struck up conversation and I learned that the family were low income and both the bride and groom and the bride's parents had taken out loans to have a beautiful wedding. The bride is also plus-sized and I learned that she'd been to 6 different stores and there had only been a few options for her size and all of them had just been awful. The bride ended up falling in love with the last dress she tried but was heartbroken to learn that the consultant had misread the price tag and the dress was actually $1,000 over budget and with alterations to make it her size it was another $1,400. The bride took the dress off and said she'd try to find something online. I grew up poor and I was also a chubby kid. I was bullied and I was very unhappy. I always wanted more and in this bride I saw myself and I didn't want her to have to settle for a dress that fit versus a dress she loved. So while my daughter was changing I asked the other bride if I could pay the difference on her dress. It was very emotional, we all held each other and cried. She accepted. I very happily paid the difference on her dress. Her mother, herself and I are now friends on Facebook and my husband and I have been invited to the wedding, which we will gladly attend. I felt very honored to have been allowed to help this girl in a small way. Being invited to her wedding was so unexpected and so amazing. When Michaela found out about this she threw a fit and said that I obviously had shown how I truly feel about her wedding and herself and if I cared at all I'd have paid for her dress, too. She's now not speaking to me or to her father, who didn't even have a hand in this, which is unfair. She has now uninvited us from the wedding. We're so hurt and confused. Was I an asshole? Edit. I wanted to add, Michaela didn't know I'd paid for the dress while we were at the bridal shop. She was in the fitting room doing a last-minute try-on and I took the opportunity to go to the payment counter during that time. So, Michaela didn't lose any of my attention. In fact we were all done. She'd picked her dress, we'd celebrated, she wasn't in the same part of the shop as us. She didn't find out until a few hours later at dinner when her dad accidentally revealed it then. He's a little talkative and didn't mean to reveal it. What do you think about it? Write your comments.